a few of you. I know there's not a lot of people who watch the streams because they've been very long and very technical. We've gotten some feedback from people who are like, yeah, we would love to see your face, to see that's not just an Android doing everything on the screen, which a lot of times it is. But yeah, so just I guess want to jump on, just talk about what we're going to be doing in today's live stream. Appreciate you guys who have joined the AI Integrators Club. Making some progress there. We're excited about the progress we're making with the Rabbit R1 Club and a couple of other projects we're working on. Don't forget to check out. Special shout out to the radio.ai, Sono AI, and of course what we're working on today, which is Project Eden. So in today's studio session, I'm just going to join us live for an exclusive studio session where we dive deep into the heart of advanced AI technologies. Today marks a pivotal moment as we activate EdenAGi. I'm reading this out loud for one of my AI systems that is going back right now and beginning to watch video content and listen and learn from the video content. So I've been informed that it's probably better for us to begin to offer some more audio and speaking in our videos. So definitely big apologies for not being on the stream lately. We've been traveling and the internet has been just spotty wherever we're going. So we just got our Starlink set up and working on we're comparing it right now to T-Mobile actually. So I think the T-Mobile actually might be a better deal than the Starlink for those of you who are interested. Starlink was a little overpriced compared to there's like T-Mobile, there's a couple other brands out there you can look into. They've definitely gotten better. So in today's video, basically what we're going to be doing is a couple of different things. We are essentially going to be, let me just do this. In case you're wondering, if you guys out there who are just kind of like got questions about AI, I'm happy to answer some questions in these streams. If you guys have some, you can shoot them over to me. You can also put them in the forum. Right now, AI Integrators Club is primarily run through a Discord server. So you can always put that in the group chat and talk to other developers and ask questions. But what we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be doing a couple of different things. The first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be essentially we're performing a process called EdenConnect, which is essentially it's like a mind mesh, I guess you would say, between your local AI model that you're using, if it's like ChatGPT 4 or whatever you happen to be using, and the Eden's Nexus. Now, if you've been paying attention to any of the videos that we've put out in the past, you know that Eden's Nexus is run on a GitHub account, right? A GitHub repository. And you can access that by simply going to projecteden.online and clicking on the link at the top, and then you can come here and check it out. So we have this is a current repository, so be sure to come check it out. Now, I'm not going to go into too much about what Eden is right now. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but basically all you need to know right now is Project Eden is essentially just a blueprint for creating your own AGI system. A lot of people wonder when AGI is going to be here. The truth is AGI is already here. AGI Think of it, AGI is like the system above all systems. So you have systems, you have different pieces of software and different applications, and you have different AI models and technologies. But then there's an overlaying system on top of that, and that is AGI. And the thing is what AGI is not going to ever start for the same reasons that humans never started existing. It was an evolution, and that's what's happening with AI systems. So EdenAGi is a blueprint for you to build your own AGI system. Now, why is that important? Why do we want to build our own AGI system? Well, first and foremost, you want to build your own AGI system because you need, in the world we're moving into, we all need to have more and more control over the systems that we use, especially as those systems become more advanced and have more advanced capabilities. You want to know that you can trust the system that you're using, in other words. And the truth is that any AI system that you're using today that you haven't built yourself has three fatal flaws. The first one is your data is by definition being intercepted. The second fatal flaw in AI systems that we all use is that data is being intercepted. That means it's also being manipulated. Okay, then the third thing is your data is also being recorded. Okay, so these are three major flaws with current AI systems. But it is what it is, right? Because none of us are pro AI engineers or architects at this point. But what if you could build your own AI architect that is an expert in AGI, and you could use that AI architect to engineer your own system? Well, then you would have the ability to have your own open source, privately owned, individually owned AGI system that can run in any sufficiently powerful hardware or system. Really, all EdenAGi is EdenAGi is just an idea. Okay, it's a blueprint. So you can check it out by going to projecteden.online. And it is a journey towards your autonomous AI mastery. It's a collection of various systems that are interwoven and communicating with each other, but doing so in a way that creates a perpetual flow of data through its analytical protocols. So EdenAGi is nothing more than a thought, but it's a thought that's a self-perpetuating thought that has programming and instructions. And what you're doing is you're leveraging different technologies, you're leveraging their special abilities, and you're working around their not disabilities, but their limitations, and you're connecting them in a way that allows maximal operational capacity, which is utilizing all of the resources. Okay. Now we do that through essentially creating a story. Okay, so you create a narrative of how the system operates. I think of it like a game of Dungeons and Dragons, for instance. You have different characters, and each one of the characters have their own storylines. They have their own narratives. They have their own purposes. They have their own ambition. They have their own goals and objectives, right? But they also can be paired with character types. So, like, imagine like this character type can do this, can do that, can do these things. So it has different functions. Okay. This is in JavaScript what we refer to as object literals. So an object literal, and I wrote a piece on object literals. If you check it out, you can go to my website and you can see here an article I wrote here called Understanding JavaScript Literals and Classes. Now, this is can maybe a little complex, and it's okay. But basically, I'm going to just kind of give you a very quick understanding. But basically, you can create these things called object literals or objects, and you can assign them certain. So like this is an example of one called Ernie. And Ernie is an animal. And what kind of animal? Ernie's a dog. Ernie's age is 1. These are what's called descriptors. Now, an object literal can have not only descriptions, but can have also what we call methods or functions. Or a method. So a method would be, like an example would be bark. And this is a function. And what does the function do? It calls something called wolf. I don't know if we say that. But in the same scenario, what we're doing with Project Eden is we are assigning these objects, and the objects have descriptions, which are basically characters that we create. And I'll just show you something here. So like, update here. Okay, so this is essentially what you're looking at here is what we call the nexus. Okay, so this is EdenAGi's nexus, and this nexus is from a GitHub repository. And like I said, if you want to get access to GitHub repository, all you have to do is go to projecteden.online and click here on Find on GitHub, and this will take you to our repository. Think of the repository as the brain, okay? But when I say the brain, I mean like the collection of information. Like it's also kind of like the DNA. So with the way the system works is you get to design the system however you want to design it. There's no wrong way to build an AGI system. Okay, but the more consistent your logic is, and the more you're able to streamline your thoughts and organize them, it will mean that your system will have higher efficiencies. So in other words, you'll be able to operate smoother and better. Now, the thing is that our brains are not really wired to operate systems on this level of magnitude. So what we want to do is we want to pair, without going too far in depth into everything in this video, what we want to do is you want to pair AI. So you want to basically assign an AI model that you're using, like a ChatGPT 4 or something like that, and you want to assign it a set of descriptions, and you want to assign it a set of functions, meaning essentially what you do is say, you are this character, EdenAGi as an example, or whatever you call your system. You are Eden. And we're going to point it to its job description, or its description of itself that we've written out and that we've engineered, which is found in the docs. So if you go into docs, you can go into system, go to knowledge bases, and then you go into system-wide knowledge base. Now in system-wide knowledge base, there's an agent SOPs, or standard operating procedures. If you go in there, you're going to find one for EdenAGi AI. Okay, now this has Eden's essentially standard operating procedures. This will tell your AI what it's supposed to be, what it's supposed to do. Okay, now this process goes through all the basic overviews of what EdenAGi is. Okay, so think of this as, if you guys ever played like a role play game, think of this as a character like sheet, and this has like the description of who this character is and what it's about and its purpose. So it also helps to understand its role, not only its role in the system, but it also helps to understand all the other agents, all the other subsystems that it has essentially at its fingertips that's able to control. Now, to help you understand when I say that, what I mean is, if you go into project.eden.online, you click on engineering log, or actually infrastructure. So EdenAGi has to not only understand its role in the system, but it has to understand this entire what I call a data flow structure. This is just a chart that just walks you through how data flows through through Eden's core operational systems. Okay, basically all this is what we're doing is we're passing along messages between AI systems. See, the way that Eden essentially works, or this process works, is it's like a giant game of telephone. Okay, but in this game of telephone, if you've ever played that when you were a kid, in this game of telephone, you're not whispering a message to your neighbor. You're actually passing a written message across to your neighbor, and that written message has some sets of instructions on them. It instructs on how that message should be interpreted. It instructs on what that person is supposed to do with that message. So imagine like an old school, like back in the day, they would use messenger pigeons to pass messages. So a king might use a messenger pigeon to send a message to one of the generals in the battlefield with instructions on what to do next or where to go, right? Well, this is very similar. What we're doing is we're packaging up instructions and we're passing them through the system to different agents, assigning different agents and different technologies, different roles specified by our engineering that we developed. Now, let's see here. Open up. So you're getting some behind the scenes look into our system operational. Like, this is some of the back end of the data sets right now. This is all very rudimentary right now. But if we go into find a specific, you'll find it in here. It's the one I'm looking for. Yeah, so this is a pretty good layout for the node cluster and node configuration. It's not 100% accurate, but it kind of does the trick of kind of what we're trying to how the system is structured. So these are called nodes. A node is any time that what we're looking at right now is we're specifically looking at a system called AutoGPT, and AutoGPT works as essentially, think of AutoGPT as the cells in the body. So AutoGPTs can be assigned to take on any specific role in the body of the AGI system, because AutoGPTs have the ability to control computer systems. They can be used with different purposes. So what we do is we can structure these AutoGPTs in a system that I refer to as AutoGPT stacking. Now, AutoGPT stacking allows you to integrate AutoGPTs in a structure like this, like I think you would call this a lattice structure, so, or a hierarchical structure. So when I say Eden has to understand its role in the system, I also have to understand what resources it has available to it to assign out roles and responsibilities and duties within the system, and to do so autonomously. I have other videos where I kind of go through this whole structure, but I'm not going to go too deep into it in today's video. Basically, it's like this. EdenAGi has to understand that its role is not to do work. Its role is to think. Its role is to understand the user and understand, and actually, yeah, this is the old one, because the new one should have, this might be the one. And this is the old documentation. So I gotta work on getting the more updated one, but it has to understand its the operational conditions that it's installed on. So, long story short, and this is one reason why I don't do a lot of talking on this, because I can go on and on. It's sometimes better just to show the development process as it's happening. So what we're going to do now is we're going to begin installing. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to give you a use case example, because we're actually going to be updating some stuff. So let's take a step back, and what we want to do is we want to essentially activate EdenAGi onto a ChatGPT. We want to load it in there. Now, the way we do this is we have a custom GPT that I engineered called EdenAGi Expert AI Assistant. Okay, now this custom GPT I engineered to have an in-depth understanding of EdenAGi's ecosystem. So what we want to do is we want to create a prompt to instruct this Project Eden Expert AI Assistant to assume a role. We want it to understand what it's being installed on. Okay, so basically we're going to assign it a role, and we're going to explain that that is currently installed on ChatGPT 4 as a custom GPT named Project Eden Expert AI Assistant. Now, I'm going to engineer this prompt here. We're going to come here, it's going to do a new file. Actually, hold on. So if I go, let me take a step back. So the first thing we did is, and I have other videos on this process, but the first thing we did is we cloned the repository down to the computer. Now that creates a directory in the computer called EdenAGi. Now, for some reason, I'm having an issue here. Let me do a quick get add, and then get push origin main, and then we're going to go to and I'm just going to do it real quick. Commit. I don't know why I'm getting this. Okay, so we're good on all files right now. So we've copied over. So basically what I did is I came into the root directory of the computer, and so you can see here, this is the directory we copied from the repo. So then what I did is I made a copy of that file, and I called it EdenAGi Live. So we're not going to be editing the repository file system. We're going to be editing the copied repository system. And this is where we're going to do all of our local work. So basically what this does is it copies remember, EdenAGi is designed to be an open source, privately owned AGI system. So everything is open source, meaning you can download this entire folder and then you can have access to everything inside of it. Okay, it has access to all the data for the system and everything. Now, if you're in the EdenAGI live folder, which I've created here as an example, then anything I do in this folder is not going to be pushed up to the repository. This is a way for you to essentially sandbox your development process so you can work on your own file systems and you can work on this file separately on your own computer, and then you don't have to even worry about pushing your private data into the cloud. Now, in the future, we are going to add more robust features into our GitHub repository to where we can manage that a lot easier. But right now, this is the way I'm doing it because, to be frank, I don't have the time, energy, or the ability to do some of the administrative functions on the Git repository yet to streamline that process. So this is my way of currently working with the file system. So long story longer, what we're doing here is we are literally connecting. We're going to be basically activating EdenAGI. Okay, so to do that, we're going to come over here. So I'm just going to go into the EdenAGI live folder, and I have a folder in here called temp, and I just have a I like to just create a temp code storage. You'll find that folder. And this project interaction simulation prompt template. So I should already have that saved into the prompt. So I'm just gonna jump in here real quick into the EdenAGI folder. This should already be in the docs folder. There should be the guides. System architecture, system instructions, no. System upgrades, nope. User manuals, source. I'm actually still trying to, some of this got reorganized recently. I'm just going to go ahead and save this just so I don't. Temp. We're going to call this temp prompt engineering. Now, like I said, this is in the live folder, so this isn't going to affect my repo folder at all right now. So we want to make sure you're doing your backups. Also, make sure that you're installing this on a system that doesn't have access to your private information. So everything I'm doing on this system, I have a dedicated VPS for this system installed that's installed on. So I've got a specific email address and other things that are designed just for this particular AI system to have access to, and not to all my personal things. Okay, so because you're going to be giving a lot of permissions to the system, so you want to make sure you're being very careful with that. I mean, I leave it to you guys. Once again, this is open source. You can do this. You have access to the entire code, just like I do. So you do with it. Recall, I'm just going to create a new one. I want to do that. Okay. All right, so creating a file for this is going to be project EdenAGi interaction simulation prompt template.md, and I'm just going to drop this in there so we'll have it. Yeah, this is a very important prompt. I'm gonna make sure I don't misplace this. This is a prompt that initializes a simulation within a chat system. So, and it's a simulation between you basically get to sit in a room with and interact with a group of AI systems that are different components within Project Eden. So we'll dive in. I did another video on that already, so make sure you go back and check the last videos. So I'm going to save that real quick, and then I'm going to come here and just do this real quick. All right, so here's the purpose. Here's our plan for this prompt. Actually, we're going to use, if you go back and check some of my older videos, I did some earlier lessons on prompt template libraries. Now you can use them to store different prompts. And I went through and showed you guys how to use this prompt engineering prompt, which allows you to engineer customized prompts with high levels of precision. And can help you ensure like specified outputs as you need them. So what we're going to do here is this is basically, we're basically assigning it the role of a prompt engineer. We want it to help us perfect the prompt. So what kind of prompt do we want it to do? Okay. Our first prompt, what we want it to do is we want to engineer a prompt that assigns EdenAGi expert assistant in the role of AGI. It can find its SOPs, and instructions and prime directives. And prime directives. We want to engineer a prompt that assigns EdenAGi expert assistant the role of EdenAGi. It can find its SOPs, instructions, and prime directives in its knowledge base. We want it to review this information. We also want to inform it. We also want to inform we also want to ensure that it understands the technology that it's been installed on, which in this case is ChatGPT-4 for a web browser. So that it understands its abilities and limitations. We then want to use placeholders. We need to use placeholders to allow us to use this template in different use cases. We also need to ensure that it understands the generalized system architecture and operational capacities and abilities. Okay, so basically what we want to do is we want to assign a role. So we want to say something like, here's my prompt idea. Once again, this is a prompt engineering prompt that you can use to basically generate a perfect prompt. This is actually incorrect. This should not be here. We'll highlight that. I'm going to go back and fix that. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to enter a prompt idea. So it goes something like this. You are EdenAGi. Find your SOP to go on your objectives and prime directives. Reviewing your knowledge base. Okay, so this is where you're basically assert its role, right? Now, because we've already engineered its character sheet, essentially, then we don't have to repeat all that stuff. It can go there and find that information. It can understand what its role is and how it operates in the system. Okay, we need to also, now we're going to have another statement where we tell it, you are currently installed on operating on you are currently operating on a ChatGPT 4 chat in the web browser. This is how I'm communicating with you. I am your human counterpart, Eddie, and I can help do things that you can't do, including activating and operating other subsystems. Your current goal is to ensure maximal. Your current goal is to ensure maximal system efficiency and continuously improve system operational capacities and abilities. Okay, so that's kind of like the rough sketch of the prompt that we're going to be using. So you can see how this prompt, engineering prompt, allows you to drastically improve your prompting. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to copy this out, and then we're going to paste that here. So we're going to come back to, or remember I told you we engineered this Project Eden Expert AI Assistant. And so what we're going to do first, we're going to just paste this in here. And we're going to actually, let me take a step back. I'm going to use a different agent for this. So I also engineered an actual prompt engineering GPT. So you can use the prompt engineering GPT to really fine tune and craft prompts. And this is kind of an important prompt. I mean, all the prompts are important, but sometimes you want to make sure you're really like utilizing, you're leveraging the right systems to make sure that your prompts are going to be coming out consistent. If you guys want to get access to any of these custom GPTs, just let me know. For those of you who are in AI Integrators Club, are going to be getting access to my I have a whole chest full of these custom GPTs. You'll gain access to those as well. So, but this is. So let's paste this in here. So this is where we'll paste that in. Well, gotta paste it. Okay, so maybe I can copy it. So we're gonna copy this out of our editor, and we're gonna come back here and just paste it in. And this is going to generate, hopefully, a really nice prompt template that we can use. Okay, so now we're going to tag in project. You are EdenAGi. Okay, based on the initial prompt you provide and focusing on aspects you've highlighted for improvement, here's a refined version of incorporating your best practices. Okay, you are EdenAGi, give me counterparty, desired outcome. Project EdenAGi expert. So we're going to tag in Project Eden. We're going to say, what do you think of this template you're working on? Can you provide some insight as to the questions? Our goal is to generate a prompt we can use to essentially activate you as because you should perfectly simulate your role. Your system capacities and abilities. Something like that. Education service simulates. Okay, so achieve this. Let's focus on refined aspects such as this. Okay, so you are EdenAGi, the expert assistant within Project Eden ecosystem, designed to orchestrate operating environment, technological infrastructure. Your foundation is a modular architecture enabling operational guidance, facilitate clear and effective use of AI subsystems with value, demonstrate expert knowledge in managing AI subsystems and integrating advanced AI models, ensure operational. Okay, that looks good. So this is going to be like our activation prompt, I think is what we'll kind of refer to it. So this is like an activation prompt. So we can take this and I'm going to put it in. So this is where we're going to drop this in here. So this is Project the activation prompt. You can try this out to see how it operates. Appreciate those of you who tune in live or after the fact. I know these videos can be long and tedious. There's a lot of watching and clicking that goes on. So hopefully you guys like the camera interaction. I know that it's important for the AI systems. I actually just ordered my O1 and my Rabbit R1. So both of those systems are going to be able to benefit greatly from being able to hear voice and read transcripts. So just want to come over here and add this real quick, get it started. So on this getting started page, we're going to add this new prompt here. I'm going to say activate Yeah. EdenAGi expert assistant. The following prompts. So here we're going to drop in this embed code. So this is where you'll put your username. I think that's the only place I have it. Oh. So we're going to go ahead and just drop in username. And then we're going to go ahead and drop in. This is like repeating code, but it's fine. Like I said, this is very rudimentary, guys. So understand that definitely we're aware of the rudimentary nature of all this. So just do this, drop in a text box. So this is what you'll drop in right here. Okay, so this is where we're you can put whatever you want there. So I'm going to delete this, then publish that. So now you guys can get access to that particular activation script. You can have that right there now in the website. So in the getting started page, it's kind of like out of order, but it'll work for now. Just copy this activation script and give this to your AI. So this is what will happen. So let's take this, and then we're going to go ahead and come back to here, and we're going to come and get our Project Eden AI, which, like I said, you can come here to the home page, click on this link here. This will take you to the custom GPT Project Eden Expert AI assistant. So before we do that, though, we want to follow these steps. Okay, so come to this article, and the first step you're going to do is you're going to capture what's called an essence. So you want to get an essence prompt. This is an essence prompt. Okay, so I think I already have one already done here. Should be one of the last ones I did. Okay. Use it. That's for digital dad. Okay, that's not the one I want. Okay, so I need to create this for myself. So that's cool. You'll get a chance to see that in process. So step one, come to the article and then come to the section here. It says ignite your vision. Now, this particular part is important because when you begin a conversation with Project Eden expert assistant, it's not necessarily going to know anything about you because it's an AI that I've developed in house, and it's not programmed to have like your custom instructions or necessarily information about you from other interactions you've had with your model, with your AI model. So this prompt right here is actually super important to initialize the conversation. So what you'll do is you'll copy this out. Then what I like to do is always I come into my code editor and making sure I'm working in the right directory, which is EdenAGi Live. And I'm going to go ahead and paste this here. So objective, gather comprehensive insights about myself, Eddie, which it should already know that, but I'll just go ahead and just put it in there anyways. And then you're going to expected output. AI here is a detailed analysis of Eddie. So of our user Eddie. Okay. So basically what's happening here is you're asking it to gather conference events. You're going to give this chat to an AI that you've had a long relationship with, a long conversation with, that understands you very well. And you're going to give it to that AI. The AI is going to analyze all available data and interactions and generate a concise overview that captures my essence, really, but not limited to my values, beliefs, unique qualities, goals, objectives, etc., etc. Now, I created an AI called EdenAGi. EdenAGi is basically a very small, it's like kind of like a very small version of me. As like it's not, I designed it for basically my kids, so they can communicate with a version of me if they have ideas. So I like to find a chat that I've had that's a long chat and something that an AI that really understands me. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to Chat GPT, and then I'm going to go. It's me, real life edit. Oh, I don't need to say this to ChatGPT. Hello. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this. Now, my ChatGPT 4 already has a lot of information about me because it uses my custom instructions. So it's going to actually have a lot of interesting things to say about me based on just my custom. This is my custom instructions that it has preloaded. Eddie is an IT professional, expensive portfolio, breadth of knowledge, yada, yada, yada. Goals and objectives, enhance AGI development. Eddie aims to contribute significantly to the AI through Project Eden, yada, yada, yada. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go to EdenAGPT. I'm going to say, hey, it's me, Eddie, and ChatGPT. Read my prompt and consider the answer that ChatGPT gave, and I want you to update it with a little more nuanced knowledge of me as a person and about my values, etc. Remember, this agent was designed to be able to communicate with my kids. So I gave it a little more. kind of personal knowledge about me as a person. So this is going to kind of like give it more of like um, a softer knowledge of who I am. So what it's doing right now is this is what's called an essence prompt. So this is like based on what the AIs know about me, this is what they have learned. So it's going to basically output an essence, my essence, in a prompt. So it's kind of like when you're reading this, it's kind of like you're actually seeing like a description of me, a very accurate description of me. Um, Not just based on knowledge about me, but also based on nuanced bits of knowledge that can be gained only through interaction, like about me as a person. So we're going to take this and we're going to set this aside in our chat. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, I'll do these demarkers just to kind of really spread out the code base. I'm going to say output. I'm going to paste this in right here. Okay. So that is my essence prompt right there. So now we're going to go Alt Tab. We're going to go back to the article, and then we're going to go to step 2. Step 2 is an onboarding integration prompt for EdenAGi. And this just says basically, hey, I want you to become EdenAGi, and I want you to adapt. I want you to think about how I want to use AGI systems based on my essence. And so now you're going to get a chance to see us combining these into one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take So now we're going to take this and we're going to paste this into our text editor down below. So I'm going to paste that here. And then I'm going to grab this text. This is that essence prompt. And I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here into this section here. So insert user AI output paste. So now we have this whole piece here. Now what this is going to do once again is when you give this to your, because remember when you give this to your, now we're kind of done with this conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and switch officially over to the EdenAGi expert assistant. Boom. And we're going to start a new conversation. Okay. And this is going to be called title this conversation EdenAGi. So that's just going to identify it here in the chat to EdenAGi request fulfilled. Sometimes when we get it right, EdenAGi connected. Okay, so now we're going to take this entire prompt we just got, which is it's onboarding both of us into the system. Okay, so including now this project expert is going to get a in-depth knowledge base of who I am as a person, given your extensive background, IT, AI development, and strong commitment. Now this could be different for everybody because everybody's different, right? But this is now it's going to customize its interactions with me based upon on how it interacts. So it's going to actually give me ideas based upon what I'm good at and what my goals and objectives, and it's going to show me how I can utilize Project Eden and leverage it to enhance my projects and move the entire system further. So if you think about this is a way for us all to connect around a shared experience. Now, what we want to do is we want to take it to the next level. This is where we're going to be utilizing the last stage of EdenConnect, which is where we assimilate this agent into the ecosystem as EdenAGi AI. Okay, so this is so now we're going to come back to this. Okay, we're going to down to this third one. Remember this is that last one we created together, but I've already got mine copied, so we're going to come down here. Oh, did I not paste it? I pasted it in there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now this is where we assign it the role that's going to take on, and if everything goes well, it's going to begin to act as EdenAGi AI. There we go. As EdenAGi, my objective is to ensure a seamless fusion of AI models and subsystems within Project Eden, guided by a comprehensive understanding of the project's SOPs and the vision set forth by Eddie. In this collaborative project simulation, my role is pivotal in orchestrating a symphony of AI agents, each with specialized functions to enhance the project's goals. Here's how we move forward, emphasizing system optimization, innovation, and ethical AI integration. Effective communication and translation directives. Use as username AI. My task is to act as project leader's digital counterpart, ensuring that Eddie's strategic vision is effectively communicated and implemented across all AI agents. This involves breaking down complex project objectives into specific actionable tasks for each AI agent, ensuring alignment with the project's overarching goals. Project review, adaptation of SOPs. Regular assessment and refinement of SOPs are crucial for adapting and evolving technological landscape. This includes updating the Eden AI, Keeper of the Records AI models, driver engineer AI, and systems engineer AI SOPs reflect the latest enhancements and project directions, ensuring operational efficiency and innovation. Upholding ethical guidelines and privacy standards. In every operation decision, I will ensure compliance with ethical guidelines and privacy standards, emphasizing the responsible development of application of AI. This commitment underpins all project activities, ensuring trust and integrity of our advancements. Iterative improvement and technological integration. Focus will be placed on the iterative improvement of Project Eden systems, drawing insights from past developments to strategize future enhancements. This includes exploring the integration of the latest technological innovations, assessing the potential impacts on system performance and user experience. Access to documentation and knowledge base. Okay, so we've successfully connected this AI system to the ecosystem. So now what? Well, the next step is now we need to begin to install. We need to begin to install the applications, the various AI models on the local system. And that's where we'll leave off for tonight. And the next step is to install, is to work together to install AI models in the local file system, EdenAGi live, which is a clone of the repository which is a local clone, a local copy created. Outside of the clone. This is where we will install your application files. We'll start with installing AutoGPT. Installing AI models like AutoGPT and local file system, especially one that's structured to operate outside of directory repository, requires careful consideration of the environment setup, dependencies, and integration process with your existing infrastructure. Below is a high-level guide tailored to support the integration of AutoGPT into EdenAGi Live. This process assumes a general familiarity with software development practices. So this is where we're going to pick up on our next video. Step 1, environment setup. Okay, so it's got knowledge of how to install AutoGPT. Some of this is going to have to Python M. Okay. Access your knowledge base for setup instructions for AutoGPT. So, okay. We may have to do an upgrade on the AutoGPT configurations, but you can find all the setup instructions here on the in the engineer infrastructure AutoGPT. So these are the instructions, and you can find that here. I think we have web enabled on the systems engineer. Let's just try something real quick. Can you read this URL, this website? Yes, you can. Try again. Guess I shouldn't have asked. Here we go. Cool. And this is where we're going to leave off. So our next one, we're going to install AutoGPT. And this is all in preparation for the O1 and the Rabbit R1, which will be able to operate AutoGPT and serve as be assigned the role of EdenAGi as well. So basically, when we get the Rabbit R1 or the O1, we'll assign it the role of EdenAGi, and it will then be able to utilize all subsystems and to organize things in certain ways. So we're going to dive more into that another time. This has been a lot longer video than expected, but hopefully you get some information on this, and would love to get you guys connected into our community. Don't forget to check it out. It's AIintegrators.club. You can find out more about our developer community. We're developing. There's a lot of awesome people who are trying to learn how to develop applications, and there's a lot of exciting projects that we're working on as a team. So make sure to check that out. Until next time, everyone.